Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you are about to hear and view an audiovisual recording. Recordings are proper evidence, and you may consider them just as any other evidence. Listen carefully. Some parts may be hard to understand.
Erin, this is Jessy and her mother. I'm sorry. I
Hello.
anyway.
Hi, Jen. You have a seat right there. We're going to grab another chair.
Oh, no. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Aaron.
Aaron, okay.
Nice to meet you.
You as well. Yeah, she was a good friend with Lynn, so she kind of wanted to know what's going on too. Thank you.
Theoretically, I'm assigned to this case.
Okay.
But we got a new boss here a little bit ago and kind of changed protocols on us. Because back in the day, I've been doing this a long time.
Sure.
We didn't look at this stuff. Yeah, me kind of called down and said, you're all good. And now he has us investigate it, like on a back burner.
Sure.
So when you called, yeah, I knew the name and I had glanced over it.
Yeah.
But I'm waiting for the ME to call me and say, hey, we're all done, death certificate signed, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, okay.
So I was a little surprised when he sent a phone. You had concerns about the hospital.
When I talked to the medical examiner last,
Uh-huh.
I talked to him numerous times. The first couple times, they said there was a few issues as far as health-wise. She had like 5 things.
Mm-hmm.
Then they said they were waiting on toxicology.
Mm-hmm.
And then they said they sent out second samples or tissue, something, and then they stopped saying anything. And they said I had to contact you guys.
And that's when I got the
So-
boss.
Okay. And I'm going, I just want to know, because they kind of weren't sure. We didn't know if it was a suicide or if it was something medical. She was in the hospital shortly before. She's been sick for years. We really weren't sure, if this is something, because the doctors could never figure out what was going on.
Mm-hmm.
So it was frustrating, and she had literally probably 10 boxes of medical documents.
Okay.
And, we just didn't know. And, I know what state she was in and where she was at, but I didn't. It's kind of frustrating because I was there all the time taking care of her. I'm the one who took her to the doctor. I'm the one who did everything. So the not knowing, and I wasn't there with her.
There is a medical
So
issue.
it bothers me because I go, could
5
I have
years
been there?
worth.
Could I have helped? Could I have done something? That's my hardest part.
Mhm.
I've never found anybody before, and it's not something I ever want to do again. So,
The medical examiner, they're very thorough.
yeah.
I barely graduated high school. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're super smart. When they talk to me sometimes, I'm like, hey,
Well, that's-
you got to figure it out a little
Well,
bit.
that's when they were talking to me. I'm going, I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, I don't understand, So,
So at this point, they're waiting for their secondary, they call them confirming tests. But there doesn't appear, there's no trauma to the body, nothing like that. She had medical issues,
yeah.
which I think is pretty well documented with her medical record.
Yeah.
Well, I want to know, that's what I want to know, if it's in her head. If this has been 5 years worth in her head,
It's
things
frustrating
going
because the
on.
doctors could never find anything,
Uh-huh.
And, they found little things, but not.
She just kept
she
doing
wasn't
repeat
eating
checks.
for
Years.
3 months. She'd have a bowl of soup once a week.
Yeah.
And she had such stomach issues, and she was just frustrated. And finally, the last time we went in, which was 4 days before she passed,
Uh-huh.
that she got out, she was in for 2 weeks. And,
And where'd she go? Waukesha?
Pro Healthcare, Waukesha.
Waukesha Memorial here, right just up the road? Big hospital right up the road.
Or she went to the clinic or the hospital?
No, she was admitted to the ER, and then they, but it was Pro Healthcare. It was right here, I think.
Oh, I thought it was Waukesha she was in.
This is Waukesha.
Yeah, Pro Healthcare is
Yeah.
it's WMH.
Yeah. Yeah, I know actually it was close to here because there was the same exit. So,
And you said in the lobby that you and Miss Hernan were friends?
Yeah, she's my best friend.
How long have you known her?
Over 30 years.
Went to high school together or something?
No.
we lived in
In
the same
apartments.
apartment.
Okay.
So she was like an aunt, a second mom to me. She didn't have kids.
So you've known her your whole life?
Yeah.
And that's why you were helping her out?
Yeah.
Or?
Well, we're
She-
power of attorney and everything.
She switched her medical like the last 6 months. My mom was in charge of everything. And she switched it because with her working and her hours, it was hard for her to get a hold of her.
Mm-hmm.
So my hours were different and I could help her. So she basically, I mean, towards the end, I was taking her to doctor appointments, picking up her prescriptions, doing everything. And she was supposed to get in-home health care from the hospital. That was the only way they were going to release her because they wanted her to go to inpatient. And she refused.
Okay.
She didn't want it.
Was that coming then, home health care? Because
Yeah.
the report says you were the caregiver.
Yeah.
Um,
No, home health care, they called, they were supposed to come that Tuesday or Monday. And, I don't remember if it was Tuesday or Monday. But they were supposed to come, she pushed them back to Friday. And they actually called, because they kept calling, and I finally answered the phone and said she's no longer, because they were trying to come out. That was her condition upon her release. Was they wanted to make sure somebody was there with her. I was there with her. But she had to have in-home health care.
When you say you were given care and you got it, there's different levels of care.
I wasn't an RN by any.
That's what I was going to ask you about
No.
the training. You weren't,
She used to be.
you weren't
she
given
actually,
injections?
No.
You
I basically
administering?
would help her to the bathroom, do any errands she needed, make any if she needed. I mean, she never
Clean
needed
her up
anything,
when
but
she needed to be cleaned up.
she right before the hospital, she had a few accidents, on the way to the bathroom, stuff like that. So I helped her around the house, but I didn't. She used to be an RN, and she was to the point where, because she knew Lynn did not want to go, she was debating and quitting her job to actually physically take care of her.
How long were you taking care of her?
It was just shortly, I would say. A little bit before she went into the hospital. I mean, I was out there pretty much every other day, but I wasn't like
That
staying.
was like doing her shopping.
Yeah, I would say a few months, but then like towards the end, I was back and forth twice a day.
Okay, so for the last, let's see,
I'd say 6 months.
last 6 months?
Yeah,
You're out there every couple days?
yeah,
Then the last few weeks, you're out there
pretty much
often,
daily. Yeah, once, twice a day.
And you're helping her? Are
Yeah.
you administering the medication at all?
No,
She's taking care of her own pills? But you're picking them up from the
Yeah.
pharmacy? Which pharmacy were you going to?
Walgreens. It's right off of her main road. I'm not a Waukesha person, but it's the closest Walgreens to her.
In Pewaukee?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, they knew me very well. They knew her very well as well, but
And what, did she have like express pay set up, or did you pay cash?
no,
or
we used her card.
used your card?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was she paying you to do this, or just a friend?
Yeah. No, well, I mean,
I have
she's
friend
not,
and
but
friend, but
yeah.
again, my father got real sick last
Yeah.
year, passed away. And so I know how this stuff goes, and I was going there all the time.
Yeah.
He knows, and it's real hard. And one of my coworkers said, well, you should be paying yourself to take care of your parents. I'm like, well, I can't take the kids.
No,
It's money.
she always, would offer here and there, and but it's hard too because when somebody she had no family, she had nobody.
Oh, I get you.
It was us, so it's just it's hard.
So when you bought groceries and stuff, you were just using her credit
Yeah.
card?
I mean, sometimes obviously that was coming from my house.
Where was she on disability then? Or
She was on Social Security or just one of them. Medicare, I got the form at the end of the year, but I don't know if it was Social Security or disability. It was one of them. I
Okay.
think it might have just been Social Security.
Okay.
But she's been on that for 5 years.
It's based on what I've read in our files, been our contacts with her over the years. She was like a hairdresser in the salon or something.
Yep.
She made a lot of money doing that, or she didn't really have any family,
No.
based on what I can tell.
Yeah.
She has one distant cousin.
She had, her parents passed away about
Her dad passed away a couple
3
of years,
5 years
and then
ago.
her mom passed away,
Yeah.
and she passed away, I think it was like a year, 2 years late. Was it 2? I don't know.
I think about 2 years later.
Because I helped her move sell her mom's house, and
Yeah, well, she doesn't have any family.
so.
I mean, well, she did, her aunt, but she passed away too a year ago. They were all from Madison. That's where she was originally from, so.
Yeah, because we couldn't really find anyone local.
I guess the medical examiner said there was a cousin or somebody
As I said,
called.
It's
But-
great aunts, so it's
Okay.
distant second
I-
cousin, so.
I didn't know of them, so.
Okay. And you had power of attorney medically?
Yeah.
Did you have financial power of attorney?
No.
No.
No, yes. If need be, I think so. Or you did. I don't remember. I know I still have all the forms at home, so.
Okay. And what happened to her apartment and stuff?
We did an estate sale. Me and Anthony, the other family friend, just like us. His mom
Condos
was
were
her good
obviously
friend.
two of these two. The two younger ones.
But we emptied out.
Was Anthony your brother or cousin? Or?
No,
It
it
was
was.
a family friend.
It's just like her. It was somebody she went to hair school with.
She's
Her
got
good
another
friend.
good friend, Kareen, who I
And
know
their child.
has their son.
Yeah.
So these two are.
So we.
She's got the house up
Yeah.
there and it's sold. So now.
Do you know
there's-
Kareen's last name? Do you have a number for her?
Yeah. I can't think of her last name offhand.
While you're looking for it, we just get some basic information because we kind of jumped the gun here.
Yeah.
It's Jessy,
Correct.
middle initial,
R
and your last name.
KURCZEWSKI.
Thank you for spelling it for me without me asking.
No problem.
Your date of birth,
2/18/84.
address.
10562 West Cortez Circle, apartment 26, Franklin, Wisconsin, 53132.
Hold on.
Oh,
There you go. I'm crazy dogs fast as I can.
Sorry.
What's the zip?
53132.
53132.
Correct.
And your phone?
414
Uh-huh.
514 1039.
And you work somewhere?
Yes.
Or what's that?
Well, actually, no. Sorry, I'm not there anymore. Smiles for Miles is my last position.
But you're unemployed now?
Yes.
Okay. And Kareen?
I can't think of her last name offhand. Oops, I'm calling her. It's 414
Uh-huh.
916 1010.
Sure.
I can't think of her last name.
No, I can't.
But she did friends like you a long time. Do you meet in the
Yes.
apartments or?
No.
No, she went
just
to.
knows.
She just knows her?
She went. No, stop. She went to beauty school with her,
Okay.
and then her son is Anthony.
And why would she give the stuff to Anthony? Just because she needed somewhere to put her stuff, or?
She was going to leave everything to me, but she figured, okay, if I died first,
Uh-huh.
then who's going to get it? So she left it to the two younger ones that she knows.
Okay. Do you know him at all or no?
We know each other, but not well.
His name was Anthony, you said?
Yes.
Do a number for him.
We know each other more so
I know Kareen, and I know
From-
Anthony, too.
Okay.
from all this. I mean, we've all kind of intertwined. His is.
Let me ask you this, while we were looking again. How are you doing? Because you seemed a little upset on the phone.
It's just frustrating the not knowing. That's what bothers me the most. Because I feel like, had I have been there, could I have done something? That's what I really, and it's just, Kareen calls me every week or so checking in. I spent 3-4 months cleaning up her condo, getting rid of things, and that was hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it's frustrating because I feel like she was so close to us, and I feel like, if she would have just reached out maybe a little bit more, or...
No, she did. You just didn't know what was wrong with her.
I mean,
Like I said, I don't know if it's in her
feel free to
head.
chime in here, but you're taking her to the doctor. She was in the hospital 2 weeks prior to her passing. I mean, it's not like
You're talking, this is calls like throughout the night. During the day, it's all the time.
Yeah.
And this has been going on for
She,
years.
before the
Probably a
hospital,
good
she
5 years.
fell 3 times, and me and her neighbor tried to pick her up, which she was very heavy.
She's very tall.
She gained a lot of weight with her stomach issues, and, we literally were fighting with her on the floor trying to get her up.
She's
And her neighbor's probably 10 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
And, her neighbor was just shocked because she was so sick, and she sat there for probably 2-3 weeks before we got her to go into the hospital.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just frustrating because it's like, you need help. And she was frustrated because she kept going in. She ambulance.
She'd go in, but then she'd turn around and leave.
Well, that's.
Does she have some psychological things going on?
Yeah.
I've never met her, so I
I
don't know.
looked in her records, which I don't know if you have access to, but
The hospital
yeah.
has a lot of notes on her. She would go in and they would release her right away.
I don't think they know what to do.
I don't know exactly what they would say, and half of what she said you couldn't believe, because she'd tell the doctor, I'm fine, I'm eating. And I'd call them outside and say, no, she's not. So it's hard, but she said that they all thought she was psychotic, and all these things listed on her medical records, you know, that she saw a psychiatrist, she didn't, you know, so I don't know if it was what she was saying or what they really thought. I don't know. You know, that's what was frustrating is because she would tell you one thing, but it'd be different. So,
It'd be different when you talk to the doctors.
Anthony's is 414-916-1026.
And you know his last name either.
I do know both of them. They're the same. You know what? I can find out what. Give me 1 second.
What's she, well, why are you looking? Why you said stomach issues? Is she have diarrhea or is she throwing up?
Both. But she saw a what is the stomach doctor?
She said gastrointestinal.
She saw somebody
Check
probably
everything out.
3-4 years back, and ever since then they prescribed a ton of medications, changed her diet, and she never was the same after that.
Based on your observations, was she taking her medication properly?
No.
Because, I mean, they find her.
Yeah.
Obviously, you found her.
Yeah.
There was everywhere.
Pills everywhere.
No, the hospital, when she was there and they noticed, they put an actual camera in her room. She had me go to Walgreens and get her prescriptions because they weren't giving her regular meds. So she pulled off all her stuff. I went in one day and I'm like, why is there a camera in here? And they said, well, we're having some problems. She was never good with her medication. She was really big on her Xanax, was her big one. She never took it. She always was taking more of it than what she
The
needed.
doctors wanted to cancel her on
Yeah, when she was in, they took her off of it.
these items that she would have already purchased when the doctor was giving them to her, so she'd stockpile on stuff.
Did she have doctor shop? They call doctor shop. We have multiple doctors prescribing the same stuff.
I don't know.
No, she didn't.
Should do that.
Because as a matter of fact, the doctor she had
Took her
took her off stuff and then said, I want you to see another doctor because I cannot prescribe these things for you anymore. So,
because people abuse Xanax.
Poza.
Poza.
P-O-Z-Z-A. I knew
That's
I
mom
knew
and son.
they're both the same.
Are they local? I assume they're local for.
They live in Big Bend, I think.
Okay. So they're in the metro area.
Yeah.
Okay.
If we could please go to slide 3.
Erin, this is Jessy and her mother. I'm sorry. Sick.
Towards the end, she really wasn't. I would say probably the last 2 weeks. Not that I know of, was she? Prior to that, yeah.
You're there twice a day and someone's hitting it. You know it.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're taking the trash out.
Yeah. No, she had 3 bottles when she passed away still. So, as far as I know, no.
Okay.
Before that...
Because she was hospitalized for like 2 weeks and then she's out for like 4 days.
4 days, yeah.
And then she passes.
Yeah.
So,
As far as I know, she was just drinking
and
water.
historically, based on my hospital experiences, they don't let you drink in the
No.
hospital.
No.
but she drank in the morning too. She
Yeah.
drank whenever, prior to her being sick the last couple of weeks where she wasn't drinking anything
Yeah.
because she couldn't eat. She couldn't get anything down.
And do you know why she's gaining weight if she's not eating?
Exactly.
We couldn't figure it out.
Is it water weight or
She
something?
was...
I don't
I know
know.
when she first went in, she was very bloated.
Because I can tell you why I got it.
No.
Well, she's a good eater.
She was
she loved to
very-
cook, but she was not eating.
Sure.
But when she
hasn't been for years.
when she went in the last time, though, they kept feeling her stomach because they said the same thing. And they took x-rays, and they just said she was extremely bloated, but they don't know from what.
Okay.
Because they would actually push on, and she was in excruciating pain.
The medical examiner gets access to all the medical
Yeah.
records by statute. So,
Yeah.
I mean, and again, I don't tell them, doctors,
Yeah.
but, they tell me what happened.
Yeah.
Were you going there to see her at all, or not?
No, I hadn't been out there in a while to see her.
When was the last time you saw her, do you think?
I don't know.
I'd say maybe 2 months before.
2 months prior to her death?
Yeah, I honestly couldn't tell you.
At least prior to her hospital stay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think the only people that she really saw in the last month was me and the neighbor. The neighbor went to the hospital.
But
She didn't want nobody. She didn't wanted anybody out.
I
If
don't-
somebody said they were coming out, other than her or I, she would tell them,
Don't come.
no,
Is it June or Judy?
next door.
Yeah. Jean. Sorry, I'm wrong. I don't know her last name, but I do.
I think it's in the report here.
Yeah.
Because she was there, they
Yeah.
talked to her that
Yeah.
day. Jean Tennell,
Yeah.
and she lives right next door.
Yeah, she lives right next door. Yeah, because she helped me and pick her up, I think, 2 days.
Do you have a number for Jean?
Yeah.
I mean, we have one, but I want to make sure sometimes
Nope, that's fine.
there's nothing more frustrating. Our deputies sometimes get a little lazy when it gets to phone numbers.
262-893-3483.
Was she helping her out too besides you, or mostly just you?
She would help a little if I wasn't there. Lynn would call her, like, 'cause she called quite a few times if she needed something or she fell, and if I couldn't get there quick enough, she would try calling her.
Mm-hmm.
So she would help, or if I knew I was going to be gone, and I knew she was having a bad day, I'd say, can you check in on her or stuff like that. So, and I know she came and visited her once or twice in the hospital, too.
Okay. Any other neighbors that she? No.
I mean, they all knew her, but she wasn't really close with a lot. She did have one guy friend that lived further over that would stop every so often, but he didn't even. She pretty much blew everybody off hospital at the end. A lot of people were upset because they'd call and they'd say, "Oh, I'm stopping over," and she'd say, "No, I don't want to see anybody." Or when she was in the hospital, I said, "Do you want me to call anybody?" "No, I don't want to." She just.
Sometimes you're not feeling well, you don't want to see no one.
She
had paranoia. She'd never leave her house. That's why she do her shop, and even if she could shop, she wouldn't.
She just
She got
wasn't.
those certain times.
She was a very 5 years before this was. From when I was little to 5 years ago, she was a completely different person. Fun of the party, knew everybody, would bring hors d'oeuvres to the pool for everybody. I mean, she was just a completely different person.
Mm-hmm.
And after her parents died and she got sick, she kind of just withdrew from everybody and everything. She didn't.
If we could please go to the next slide.
Sick. Can I get your name? Is it Jenny or Jennifer?
Jennifer.
An initial?
M.
And last name?
Flower.
Date of birth?
12/26/1963.
Address?
Same as
The Cortez?
Yep.
You have a cell phone?
414-460-5792.
Anything else you want to tell me that you think's important? Even a small detail.
No, there's nothing I can.
I mean, the crime scene pictures, I reviewed them before you came here. Obviously, it looks like she was trying to force down medication. The doctor will tell me if that's true or not.
Do I think it's suicide? Yeah. I think she...
Because of her psychological issues?
Yeah, and I think when she went in the hospital, that was it for her. That was the last straw. If they couldn't find nothing, she was going to tell them whatever she wanted to get out of there. And I told her that. I said, she just wants to come home because she's going to do herself in.
She was just she was just tired of being sick.
Mm-hmm.
And she was frustrated because she wasn't getting the answers. I do know when she first went in, they said she had liver, kidney. She thought she was going to have to go on dialysis. Within a day that improved, they said no. Then after her being there 5 days, they said she has C. diff. She was so excited thinking that was all her problems.
Well, you get
and then she realized that wasn't,
so that's not
they made her, I think, with what they told her and what she believed, she got excited thinking they finally figured out what's wrong.
She actually thought, she even had her water checked in her house when she bought the condo, the upstairs.
She had them checked for mold. She had a lot.
Yeah,
of
she
thought the apartment herself was making her sick, or the condo.
How long did she live there?
I think it was 4 years since her
4
parents.
years.
I thought it was 3, but.
Well, it's either 3 or 4.
How about 3 to 4? There we go.
I know I got the paperwork.
Is there an attorney that's handling the estate?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who's that?
Lisa Martinson.
And the next slide, please.
Can I get your name?
Had 2 friends, and they had set things they wanted, and those were the 2 people she said I do not want them in my house when she passed.
Who's that?
What's Green Patterson?
If you think of it later, call me.
It's Green's brother, and then Jim, her ex-boyfriend. And they both wanted the same things, and they were the things worth of some value.
What did they want?
She had a very expensive bracelet that she bought about a year before she died. It was a men's Merner link bracelet, and that was the first thing they both asked for. It was I've never seen
One
people
wanted it
so
because the other
sick
one knew.
over. I mean, I was like disgusted over what, they didn't say how did she die, how, when's the funeral, they didn't ask any of that. They asked when can I come to her house, or who's getting the bracelet. I want the bracelet. I mean, actually, Jim set his mom up to ask for the bracelet too, so that was 3 people, and she would never. I mean, it was sick.
How long was Jim the ex-boyfriend?
Over 30 years.
They were dated 30 years ago?
Yeah.
Not that long ago, but
Yeah, it was.
I don't think it was no.
They lived at the apartments. That's when I met her. And they
I
broke
think
up.
maybe 20 years ago.
No.
She did a lot for him, a lot.
And that's hanging on 20 years.
Well, he's got a girlfriend too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay, because he broke up 20 years ago. Right?
It's a weird.
Well,
She's
but-
one of those
I'm in
people.
cahoots with that guy right now. I've had some conversations with him.
Yeah.
I'm also aware of the fact that she has given him money for a down payment on his house and only paid him back like $300.
How much did she give him?
A lot.
When you say a lot, you have documents?
Yeah.
And he knows we know. Because those are my exact words to him.
He actually also has very good friends who work for this office.
Was it?
Yeah. His wife's a court reporter for Waukesha too. Girlfriend.
What's her name?
Next slide, please.
And person.
Well, and
he
whoever
created a lot
stuff
of.
too is really not his.
He created a lot of
His
problems.
name isn't
that
on
we
anything,
have.
so why should he? It's not his
He
business.
he was very determined to be in her house and get certain things. She had strict who gets what. We abided by it. But he,
Did he get anything?
yeah, he did. He got way more than what, because I didn't have a problem with giving away her things.
Do you have an itemized list that you gave?
Mhm. Yeah.
I'll give you a card that has my email on it. You want to email me?
Yeah. I also have her itemized list too.
You want to email me that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's been an issue. We don't have any conversations with him anymore, but at the beginning he was a problem.
Did he have contact with her toward the end?
No.
No. He
Why?
tried.
He
He tried. When she was in the hospital, he tried.
He called when she was in the hospital.
Yeah, he called.
And he was mad that he wasn't informed.
He had a
and I
birthday
said,
gift to drop off for her, and I said, well, she's in the hospital right now, and her birthday was in June, so why are you calling now?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And she said, do not tell him I don't want him here. I don't want to see him.
She didn't like the way she looked, so she didn't want people around. Because she always was done up.
Oh, so it's
you
good,
know,
and
yeah.
she didn't look so hot at the end,
Yeah.
based on, you never look so good when you're dead.
No, and the brother is Corinne's brother. I can't think of his name offhand.
When you think of it, send me an email. or
Yeah.
something.
But the two of them, we had a dinner.
But you're pretty sure Jim's not around, just at the end here.
No.
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 Do you have a phone number for him?
He has.
Or do you know what his last
I
name?
threw it out
It's
because
Kel-
I don't want to have any more
It's
contact.
Keller.
Yeah, just
I do have his number.
Kehler.
Kehler.
Because after she passed, he contacted me and said, well, I'm contacting the sheriffs. And I want to know when she was in the hospital and how long. And
He wanted dates and
Yeah,
stuff, and it was like, okay, whatever.
I guess I don't have it in here. I thought I did.
If you find it, send it.
I know I have it. I thought I had it in my phone. But him and we had a dinner afterward, because she didn't want a funeral. She had strict instructions. So we had a dinner, and all of us know each other, but haven't really seen or talked to each other in years, since she used to live on the lake. And, none of us are really close, because we didn't really
But I
hang
know
out
all
together.
these people.
But they were all at the
She's
dinner.
kind of the hub and
Yeah.
girl spokes of it.
Yeah. None of us really knew each other together,
So did Jim go to the dinner?
He did. Him and his girlfriend went, and
Corrine and her husband and Corine's brother, Anthony, came. She was pretty close with Corine's brother.
yeah.
Okay. Was he there at all?
Yeah, he wasn't going to come.
No.
At the end.
He saw her maybe a month before, I think.
So basically, it's just you there. The only person she's seen is you.
Yeah, me and the neighbor.
And the neighbor once in a while, but mostly it's just you.
Yeah.
All right. Let me grab your card. Do you have any questions? I mean,
No.
once we hear from the ME, I'll let you know what's going on. But
Do you know, out of
they
curiosity?
give up to a year. And they almost...
I mean, it's not like, you know, it doesn't do anything. It's more so, I just wish I knew, you know. It's more so to know if I could have done something had I been there. That's the hardest part.
We've
You know,
put a lot of death scenes.
I'd like to know if it's a suicide, but I'd still like to know what led up to her being sick for the last 5 years
Yeah.
of her life. Why?
Medical problems.
If it was in her head.
I'll ask the doc when it comes time.
Yeah.
But again, our medical exam, she may take up to a year on something. She does it quite a bit.
Yeah.
They're very thorough.
Well, and I'd rather at least, like, I was excited when they said, you know, I'm not excited, but when they said, you know, that they found something with their heart. They found like 5 different things. And that at least was encouraging because I went,
A lot of times there's a lot of contributing factors,
yeah.
and it's a combination of these things.
And that's what.
The body starts to shut down. So let me go grab you a card.
Detective, is that essentially where this interview ends?
Yes.
Okay. During that interview, do you recall the discussion about a bracelet?
Yes.
Did you follow up on that specific item in this case?
Yes.
Do you know what happened to it?
It was sold to Robert Hack.
What is Robert Hack?
It's a diamond gold place in Greenfield,
Okay.
Wisconsin by Southridge.
Did you actually go there?
Yes.
Did you get records as well?
Yes.
Did they indicate who sold that item?
It was Jessy.
In terms of throughout the interview, would it be fair to say there were some things like phone numbers or names that people couldn't remember in the interview?
Yes.
I'd like to show just the witness states Exhibit 59. Detective, at the end of the interview, were you able to give Ms. Kurczewski a card with your info on it?
Yes.
Would that have included your email address?
Yes.
Ultimately, did Ms. Kurczewski email you to clarify some of that information after this interview?
Yes.
And do you recognize Exhibit 59?
Yes.
What does it appear to be?
It's an email that Jessy had sent me.
Okay. What's the email address that this was sent from?
It's JESSROSESKI@gmail.com.
In terms of what the defendant told you she would send you in the interview, is the content of this exhibit consistent with that?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like you to please read the third largest paragraph just quietly to yourself and let me know when you've finished.
I'm finished.
In March of 2019, did Ms. Kurczewski ever tell you that Ms. Hernan had been trying to kill herself all the time?
No.
In fact, in this correspondence, Does the defendant indicate she finds it hard to believe suicide?
That's exactly what she says in the email.
Does this look like a fair and accurate copy of the email in this case?
Yes.
I'd move Exhibit 59 into evidence. I'm not asking to publish it.
Exhibit 59 is received.
Now, Detective, at a point in time, did you try to locate a lockbox at a BMO Harris branch?
Yes.
And why?
There was a lockbox in Lynn's name at the BMO Harris in Waukesha.
Okay. Did you eventually go to that location?
Yes.
Were you able to get inside the lockbox?
Yes.
What was in there?
There was a small white stone that appeared to be like a diamond, but I didn't think it was a diamond.
Okay. Any paperwork or currency?
No.
I'd like to show the witness States Exhibit 133, slides 10, 11, and 12, please.
No objection.
You said 113?
133.
I'm sorry, Exhibit 133?
And at this point, I would just be moving into evidence the last three slides, 10, 11, and 12.
And that's what there's no objection to.
Correct.
All right, Exhibit 133, slides 10, 11, and 12 are received.
I'd ask to publish these, Madam Clerk. And Detective, do you see the image before you?
Yes.
On States 133, slide 10, what is the jury looking at here?
This is the exterior of the lockbox that
Okay.
belonged to, or what, it was in the BMO Harris that was registered to Lynn Hernan.
Okay. Moving to slide 11. What can we see here?
This is the photo of the box after we opened it.
Okay. And what about slide 10? I'm sorry, 12.
That's that white stone that was in the box.
Okay. That's all I have. Thank you.